Greetings and welcome, my friends. We are closing out the Turtles the Gathering season with a refreshed The Italian Job 1. The original is coming back to hurt them in ways they have not experienced since we first slapped them across the face with it back in June of last year. The heist is back on as the deck will aim to take everything the opponent owns. Everything. There is no permanent that will be safe from our grubby little mitts. And if that fails, we have other options to take care of their life total. Let's get the shell in there. We're playing 3 copies of Stormchaser's talent, a key enchantment that helps us early and often. One of the 2 parts we like is getting an otter token when it enters play. It's a great blocker early, or we can use it to get in some damages if the opponent is slow to develop. The other part we like is taking it to level 2, which will get us an instant or sorcery back from our grave for a second go-around. That's an easy way to get a sweeper back if we need to clear some enemy men, or we can get one of our dig spells to help us find more ammo. We don't often need to take it to level 3, but that option is there if we need it. Get Lost has worked so well in the Horde job that we had to reformulate the original The Italian Job and see what it could do with this new setup. And it is fire. Get Lost gives us a way to deal with single enemies, so we no longer need to look for a sweeper when we want one of their men gone. We can also snipe enchantments and opposing planeswalkers, which gives us versatility that we didn't have before. Sure, we give them map tokens, but with our package of defensive measures, their pumped-up men won't mean much. Consult the Star Charts was a card I loved using in the original, and we've brought it back to help us find our key pieces. We're running more defensive measures this time around, and less of the powerful cards that take over games, but the consult gives us a way to find what we need. And we have the option to fire it off for just 2 mana, or we can go all in and crank it out for 4 mana. Auroral Procession is a huge player in our decks, as it gives us the chance to fetch any card from our grave and at instant speed. We can get back any card from an early Fabled Passage to a sweeper during the mid-game, or even a late Doppel to make the opponent dance their little dance. Oh. They get the bad feels when they see it coming, but they've got to take a big bite out of the pain sandwich we're serving up. Doppel is one amazing card. It does require a bit of mana to use, but we have a way to fire this up and make some serious copy action happen. We can copy any permanent, even the opponent's cards, and inflate our board. With the right board set up, we can go infinite and take down the opponent with a pair of powerful Doppels. Caretaker's talent is a bit more card draw, along with a great way to give our token men a stat boost. In most games, we don't want to have too many of these in play, as we can easily draw ourselves out. Having 1 or 2 usually does the trick. The card draw is amazing, and so is the copy ability when we take it up to level 2. Getting another token for just 1 mana can be so good. Stock Up is our usual deck digging tool. For 3 mana, we can dig through our deck and grab a couple of cards to help us advance our position. There is very little else that can do so much at the 3 mana slot. Ancient Cornucopia is a mana artifact that puts in some real work. It does ramp us as well as fix our colors, critical abilities in a 3-color deck. But it also gains us life with the first card we play out each turn. This gives us a chance to be able to keep fighting on, even after we've taken damages that could have ended the game. Aetherize is one of our defensive measures against teams of enemy men. Once the opponent is sure of making a killing stroke and send in all their men, we'll fire it off, and every attacker, regardless of their abilities, will be bounced off the board and back to the opponent's hand. While they can replay their men, this can easily buy us the time to advance our own board, or get a turn or 2 to come up with our own endgame strategy. Beyond the Quiet is our real sweeper. It will exile all men on board and give us more time to continue building towards our goal. The exile effect prevents enemies from coming back, and works around any dies triggers that decks who love to fat sack their own men rely on. A K.A. Sephiroth. Elspeth, Stormslayer, is our lone planeswalker this time out. With her on board, we get double the tokens, which effectively doubles our Doppels. Even a small 3-point Doppel will be huge and potentially game-breaking. To help us out, Elspeth can generate tokens or take out an enemy that is 3 mana or more. She also has a 0 loyalty ability that pumps our men and gives them flying for the turn. This is a great way to smash opposing life totals if we've built up a team of token men. Confiscate is a stone-faced, dead-eye killer of opponents. When we play it out, we can steal any permanent the opponent controls. This includes lands, so once we copy it with a big doppel, we can end up controlling everything the opponent has played out, leaving them with a big blank board. That will be GG's, we brought all the cheese. The green virtue is a powerful ramp enchantment. For 1 mana, we can use it to get back a land from our grave, and once we drop it in as an enchantment, we'll get triple the mana from our basic lands. With 2 of them in play, our basic lands will produce 9 times the normal amount of mana. This will let us fire off enormous doppels that will make the opponent's head explode. For lands, we're playing 2 Fountain Port, the special land that can generate tokens or that can let us fat sack them to draw an extra card. 4 Fabled Passage, the special land that we can fat sack to fetch out any basic from our deck. 1 Urban Retreat, the special land that can produce 1 mana in each of our colors. 1 Lush Oasis, the Simic Desert. 1 Creosote Heath, the Celestia Desert. 1 Lonely Arroyo, the Azorius Desert. 4 Forest, 2 Ba Sing Se, the special land that can earthbend lands. 4 Island, and 4 Plains. Playing the deck is fun as well as powerful. In the early game, the goal is to minimize damages from enemy men as much as possible while we work on setting up our board. Finding a removal or a sweeper is key to continued success. A Horn of Plenty is amazing early as it can prop up our life total while we work on finding ways to deal with enemy men. In the mid to late game, we begin to assert control with card draw, ramp, or thievery. The heist is back on and we aim to take everything, clean out the vault and leave only scraps for the opponent. We can also win through damages from tokens or copying the opponent's men and using their own cards against them. Whichever avenue opens up, be prepared to take it. That's the deck, boys. Let's go play some games.
Do you want to play a game?
This is leaves. That's exactly what she'll do at the end. Just leave. We're kicking things off with a 3-lander. We've got a removal and a Horn of Plenty that could get us to our sweeper mana a touch early if we need it. Not bad. Keep your pants on. This passage has to grab us some white. With a Plains, we'll have at least 1 of each of our colors. Bro is playing mono blue in this economy? How can they afford it? We draw a Caretaker's Talent, and that is something they will want to counter. Let's fire it off and see. And sure enough, they have a negate, which hits everything except men, which we aren't playing any of. We draw a Ba Sing Se, and that is something they can't counter. We'll activate it and turn 1 of our Plains into a little 2/2 beater. I did want to earthbend the desert, but if we do that, we can't get in for damages. Let's just go with the Plains and smash. We draw another talent, and we'll give it a try. We haven't gone with the Horn of Plenty, because that's a card I don't want countered. Let's bait out their counterspells first. They might have gotten our talent, but we've still got our land. If they can't stop our lands, they're going to need something other than counterspells. We draw an Elspeth, but trying to play her out will use up our entire turn. Let's earthbend once more instead and pump our Plains. They've got some well-timed bounce. It will delay the beatings we're trying to throw, but we can keep trying until we've run their hand down. They go without any plays on their turn yet again. I am not impressed. We draw a virtue and we'll give it a try. We want to get to the point where we can earthbend a land and play out some of our cards. Having that kind of double-pronged attack pays dividends against mono blue. We get our passage back, and now we'll try for the Horn of Plenty. They hit it with an annul. I have to wonder if all they do is counter and make their opponents concede after being shut out the whole game. Well, that is not us. They're going to have to actually take our life total to 0. We draw another desert, which is great. Now we have better targets to earthbend. Sure, they can bounce them, but we can replay them and they hit for another point. They play out a secluded Starforge. Surely that's not how they are expecting to win? Surely not. We draw a Stormchaser's talent and we'll give it a go. Even if they counter, we have enough mana to try getting Elspeth down. Her tokens and pumpability could break them. They have counters for everything. They have gone down to just 3 cards in hand, and they have not fired off anything to replenish their hand. We draw a stock up and we'll give it a shot. And we get it off. Their counter everything strategy is starting to unravel. We'll take the talent and the land. The more mana we have, the better. We'll try the talent. It's a card they'll want to counter. But it does go through. The token we get is huge, and now we can get our stock up back for a second go. They use a second bounce on our land, but we'll replay it on our next turn. It's pain they can't counter. Eat it they must. They make their first token. Even if we trade our lands for their tokens, we're still doing damage. They send it. Maybe they think we'll block. But now I'm not sure if they're even paying attention to the life totals. Your blockers shouldn't be getting turned sideways, bro. Oopsie poopsie. Let's earthbend once more, and we'll send it. They squeeze out another one of their token men, but we'll use our Get Lost on it. We want to get damages through. But of course they have a counter, but that's fine. Our token got pumped, and we'll trade with theirs. That would be the safest block. This time, they do hold their token back. Going into single digits does make you think about things differently. We'll try our freshly drawn Horn of Plenty. They have only 2 mana to play with if they want to make a token, and we still have mana to earthbend another land. We get it down. Now we can earthbend our desert and get in for hits. Even if they block up, it's 2 points to the face. They make a second token as we thought they might. Let's do this. Block up, bro. They block one land, but what about the other? No, wait. They take both hits instead. They must have something big on the way, right? They have to go back to the drawing board with their deck. It's lacking guts. That's GG's, extra earthbending cheese. This is Miles Sheeger. I don't know what a Sheeger is, but sure, lady, just keep your pants on. We get a shuffler special this time, and in a twist of fate, I thought the urban retreat was a fabled passage. But luckily, we do have a consult to bail us out if we don't draw into a third land by turn 3. Keep, by accident even, your pants on. We draw a third land, and that saves us from having to make desperation plays to try to find a third on our own. We'll go with our Stormchaser's talent to get in some hits if they're slow to develop. They play out a talent of their own. The Otterfest party has begun. Did anyone bring any clams? We'll go with our Caretaker's talent for the pump and send it. We're hitting first, and we're not the deck that's designed to be throwing men into combat. They send in their Otter, special delivery. But it's a ruse. They're really after getting their Kaito in. While it might look like a solid play on their part, they've got nothing to protect their planeswalker. Our Otter is going to dance on Kaito's head. We draw another talent, and we'll play it out. That's pump for our Otter. Then we'll fire off our stock up and get another point of pump. We'll take the Ba Sing Se here. It's always good against control opponents. And the stock up is excellent as well. More ammo, more options, more fun. We are 1 point short of knocking out Kaito and his hammer pants.
I like a challenge.
They send it, but we're not blocking. The best they could do is turn Kaito into another Kaito. They fire off a sweeper, and that will deal with our men, but it also takes out their own Kaito. I'm gonna file that under oopsie poopsie, bro. Let's fire off our stock up while they are tapped out. They do have blue and could be running counters. Out of this set of 5, I do like grabbing the Confiscate. The Doppel would be great too, but we don't have the mana to fire it off effectively. They hold off on making plays, which smells like a counter. We don't have to make plays, we've got a fountain port in play that we can use to make tokens. We got nothing over here. Your go, my bro. They fire off a 3 steps ahead for the dig option, and they have the mana to have countered and still used it to dig. We knew what they were up to. We knew. They play out a wrench. It's going to steal cards out of our deck, but our goal is to steal their permanents. With their wrench on board, making a token won't be effective. Instead, we'll go with the consult. I want the Horn of Plenty here. It's a toss-up to what take next. Taking out their wrench should be a priority, but should we get the sweeper or the spot removal? If we get the removal, we have enough mana to fire it off. Decision made. They have a counter, but now they're tapped and we can use the sweeper on our turn to clear out their wrench. I'm only concerned that they might have a way to bounce it and replay it for additional thievery, and that's something we should try to prevent. We can drop in the Horn of Plenty and follow up with the sweeper. Their next play is an Azula, the Cunning Usurper. The sweeper here would be the smart choice, but I do want them to tap out, and I wonder if they will if we give them the consult. It is a gamble, but it will be worth it if they tap out and we have a free turn without worry of any counter magic. Sometimes you have to take a chance. To our delight, they do fire it off. You can feel the joy all the way down to your pants. The problem here is we really shouldn't leave them with Azula on board if we know what's good for us. Any kind of bounce and replay or blink shenanigans would ruin our day. Let's just erase Azula, and it will be like it never even happened. They play out another wrench. They are bent on taking our deck. They took one of our otter talents. They did leave a pair of mana up, but you have to wonder if they're holding a counter. 3 steps ahead requires 3 mana to counter, so it can't be that. If they had one, they likely would have left mana up for it. Let's give our virtue a chance to land on board. If they have a counter, that's fine. We want the confiscate to resolve for sure. We get it down? Feel that rush of power? That's 22 mana that we now have on board once we untap. They hit our virtue with one of our own removals. While this is rather unfortunate, we do have a consult that we can use with Kicker for a pair of cards out of our top 9. There's a Doppel, we'll take it, and a Sweeper could smash their men. They tap out to fire off one of our Doppels. Not only do they have the power of the mighty wrench, they also now have the power of a Doppel. But that's it. They get only one. They get another set of wrench triggers, but they tap their last mana. will clear out their men. Wrench has done enough, and even though they only have 3 cards left in hand, they have a whole second hand full of our cards. A token copy will get us another draw, and that gets us another virtue. We're back in business. We'll have to hope they tap out again, or at least not have a counter for our second virtue. They do some digging with our consult. They're getting plenty of options and have almost 2 full hands to work with. They tap all but 1 mana to play out their virtue. I'm willing to bet Monopoly money that they've got another Wrench or another Azula. But that's fine. This was their last turn. We're about to go infinite. Behold the power of cheese. We'll get our virtue down, and after that, we've still got 18 mana left for a big doppel. We'll copy our virtue and a couple of our lands, enough to doppel a second time after we play out our confiscate. Copy a talent and another land. Tapping an island gives us 729 mana. That's plenty to do what we came here to do. For insurance purposes, we're going to grab a Get Lost. Let's call that being prudent. With that done, we'll confiscate one of their lands. They might have stolen our cards, but they probably didn't steal any lands. Oopsie poopsie, bro. Now we'll grab our doppel, and we can make enough copies of our confiscate for each of their permanents, and then some. They get the smell out of town. They must have seen the future and saw what was coming. That's GG's, extra copy cheese. And that, my friends, is another satisfied customer.